Good morning, everyone. If anyone is here to make public comment, please make sure to fill out a public comment card in the back of the room and submit it up here. I'm Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works. Please, if you're here to submit public comment, please fill out a public comment card and submit up here. If there's anyone on the Zoom that would like to make public comment on general public comment or any of the agendized items, please raise your hand so we can get your information to schedule you for your general public comment or which item you would like to speak on. Silva Blackstone, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself so you can let us know if you would like to provide general public comment or public comment on one of the items listed on the agenda. Please go ahead and unmute yourself, Silva Blackstone, so we can find the information you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to provide general public comment today?
And also the reports, the oral reports, it's would be difficult to say if I wanted to comment on those because there's hardly any information about what the items are.
So that's item 7 is the oral report.
There's only one oral report?
Correct. There's one oral report, item number 7.
Okay.
Great. I'll mark you down for general public comment and commentary on item number 7, and we will ask you to unmute yourself when we get to that portion after we start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Ruben Flamenco for item 7, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Great.
Status report.
Thanks, Ruben. Good morning, everyone. Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works. Want to make another call if there is anyone to provide public comment. If you're in person, please fill out a comment card and bring it up to the front of the room. If you're on Zoom, please raise your hand so we can ask you to unmute yourself and we can get your information for general public comment or commentary on one of the agendized items. Thank you.
It's a little low. Yeah. We're good? Oh, wonderful. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works on April 5th at 10:08 a.m. Adina, Devin, can you please take roll? I saw Adina and I wanted to say good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Sorry about that.
Well, good morning, everyone. Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works, taking role in establishing quorum. We have Vice President Villegas, Commissioner Corsand, and Commissioner Reyes all present, and we have a quorum. We're joined by our City Attorney Representative, Miss Adina Hoppenstand. And once again, I'm Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works. Vice President Villegas, we have one speaker under general public comment on the Zoom, no
Okay.
neighborhood council commentary, and one speaker card under item number 7 on
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay, wonderful. Well, then let's take general public comment.
Great. Silva Blackstone, if you're still on the Zoom, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, and you'll have 2 minutes for your general public comment.
Ready, begin?
You're ready to begin.
Okay, my name is Silva Blackstone. I'm a retired certified arborist. And I'd like to comment on, just in general, the information that the board gets from members of their bureaus. And just in general, the information I've observed from coming to these meetings by Zoom, and in the past, I used to come in person many years ago. I've observed that sometimes the board members ask very sharp questions that shows that they're really considering and have some background with the divisions and the bureaus that are speaking to them, but that they don't get very good answers. The answers are lacking, in my opinion, that they're getting. For instance, the divisions and the bureaus don't even use the scientific names of trees. They use common names, which are misinterpreted, can be misinterpreted. In particular, I'd like to bring your attention to the project in Lincoln Park, the neighborhood street improvement project, where I did a little research and I found out that the original Lincoln Park lake was from, the water was from a
Thank you.
stream bed.
That's 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the comment, for general public comment. And we will close general public comment and neighborhood council comments. And just to let the public, the caller know that we do have an existing project at Lincoln Park that will be started sometime next year. All right, moving on to the approval of the minutes from Wednesday, March 20th. Can I get a second to my motion to approve those minutes?
Second.
Thank you.
Great. We'll take the vote for.
Yeah, we have a motion by myself and a second by Commissioner Corson.
Thank you. We'll take the vote for the minutes, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Good morning. Aye.
Second.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you. All right. Then let's get started with our meeting. I'm going to take things just a little out of order. I realize that some of our oral reports, we can get through some of these just a little bit faster, and we can let staff go since they may not be that time consuming. So let's start with item number 7, and then I'm going to go on to 8 and 9, and then we'll start on item number 1.
And we have a commentary on item number 7.
Yes.
So, take
Why
that?
don't we take that speaker and then we will go on to item number 7.
Great. Hi, Speaker Silva Blackstone. Can you unmute yourself, please, to give your commentary on item number 7?
Okay,
2 minutes.
Silva Blackstone, retired certified arborist. Sticking to this item. It's very difficult for a member of the public to realize, to even be aware of what these items are about, because there's very little information provided on the agenda. And I'm always interested in what street tree division is up to and what parks are up to. Anything regarding trees and the environment I'm interested in and have a pretty good background about, which I won't go into. But anyway, there's not much information to be had. And sometimes the packets contain hundreds of pages of I would say, important information, but a person who's not backgrounded on any of these items would find it very difficult to bushwhack their way through these hundreds of pages of documents. So a little bit of more information on the agenda would be helpful to the general public who's trying to track and be aware of what the board is making decisions about. That's it. Just a comment about the availability of information as provided on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Okay, and we will start then for the oral reports, contracts expiring within 90 days, and we will start with BOE, Mr. Jonathan Carroll.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Excuse me. This is a status report for personal services contracts due to expire within 90 days from March 1st, 2024. FSY Architects Incorporated contract will be archived upon expiration. Contract number C106420 from FSY Architects Incorporated expired March 21st, 2024. And that's the extent of my report.
Okay, that was fast.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That's from our Bureau of Engineering. I see that we also have Bureau of Sanitation, Mr. David Santos. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Vice President Villegas, President Porter Davis, Commissioner Reyes, Commissioner Corzan. Good morning, City Attorney, and good morning, Executive Officer. I am David Santos from LA Sanitation's Administration Division Centralized Contract Units, and I'll be giving the report for March. So to get started, the contract's expiring within the next 120 days. The first 9 contracts on the report before you are for LA Sanitation's automation and technology projects and will be amended to extend the contracts and complete planned projects already in progress. An RFQ, request for quotes, is already being drafted to open the opportunity for a new on-call contract with additional vendors. And moving on, Southern California Disposal Company, contract C123215. That expires April 30, 2024. That will not be renewed. That is to provide transport, and disposal services of municipal solid waste generated in the West Los Angeles waste shed and collected from city designated facilities. The board approved a new contract with the vendor on January 17, 2024, which is currently pending Mayor Council approval. Next, USA Waste of California, doing business as Waste Management, contract C127499. That expires May 8, 2024 and will not be renewed. That one is for the receipt, processing, and reuse of green material, food material, and/or horse manure from the City of Los Angeles's curbside collection program. New contracts were awarded for these services through the request for proposal process. Next, Walsh Construction Company, contract 133194 that expires May 16, 2024, that will be renewed. That is for the development of a 1.5 million gallons per day advanced water purification facility at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. On February 28, 2024, the board approved the amendment to extend the term of this contract for an additional 2 years. The amendment is currently under Mayor Council approval. Next, USA Waste of California doing business as Waste Management. Contract C127303. That expires June 30, 2024. That will not be renewed. That is for the landfill disposal of grit and screenings. A new contract was approved by the board on January 24, 2024, currently pending Mayor Council approval. And this last group, this last set of contracts on the list are the 24 on-call consultants that provide as-needed planning and technical support services for LA Sanitation's clean water, stormwater, and solid resources programs. These 24 consultants are listed on the report before you. LA Sanitation released a new RFQ for these services, and the board approved the new list of on-call consultants on March 13, 2024. The contracts are currently under CAO Mayor Council approval. So this concludes LA Sands monthly report for March, and I'll be happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Commissioners, do we have any questions? No, your report, thank you for also including it on the record on page 276 out of the 281 pages from our report. Thank you.
Thank you
I
very
think we're
much.
good. All right. And then we have from Street Lighting, do we have Mr. Ruben Flamenco? Good morning.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. The original 6-month, $245,000 personal service contract with NBS for a database software to complete over 550 new assessment calculations and make recommended changes to Proposition 218 related documents to better position the Bureau to conduct a citywide mail-in ballot measure was executed on May 27, 2021 and commenced on June 14, 2021. The board adopted our supplemental agreement number 1 with NBS on May 18, 2022, and the agreement was executed on June 22, 2022. The board also adopted our first amendment to supplemental agreement number 1 with NBS on February 22, 2023, and the first amendment was executed on October 17, 2023. Our contract end date with NBS is now May 7, 2024. We remain optimistic that we will mail the ballots for our citywide ballot measure in 2024 or early 2025. I do want to caution the board that in June of 2024, we will be reaching the 3-year lifespan of our personal service contract with NBS. Our Bureau is currently considering extending the contract with NBS beyond 3 years with the City Council's approval. We are also preparing and considering a new personal service contract to complete both our public outreach campaign and our citywide ballot measure. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions? No, we don't have any questions. And just for the public's edification, your report is on page 274 of the 281 pages. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That is all I have. We don't have any representatives. Do we have other representatives? Okay. You're jumping the gun. All right, but no other representatives from BCA or BSS? Okay. All right, then let's go on to item number 8, and that's Mr. Angelo Gopal.
Good morning, Vice President,
Good morning.
Commissioners. This report is coming from Mr. Keith Mose, who's the Executive Director and General Manager of the Bureau of Street Services. And my name is Angelo Gopal, and this information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays. For additional information or concerns, you can contact our coordinating section of the Street Renewal Division. There are no major street projects scheduled in the Metro or Valley resurfacing regions during the week of April 7th to April the 13th, 2024. However, We're going to provide an update on our 23-24 pavement preservation program. During the week of April 7th, 2024 through April 13th, 2024, the Valley and the Metro region will complete 18 projects for a total of 4.89 lane miles. The press releases were distributed and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the council offices to assist with the outreach to the stakeholders. We have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. Now, this information is also available on the Streets LA website using the Resurfacing Open Projects icon. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we just have a question from Commissioner Davis.
Yes, I wanted to ask in terms of the street paving that we have been doing and will be doing, does that include the cool pavement application as well? I know you have told us about some of the plans for the future of paving, but does it include the cool pavement as well as the traditional?
I will have to get back with you with that particular information because that is not in my particular division. Now, as what Cool Pave may be doing, I don't have that information for you at this
Sure.
time.
Okay, that'll be fine. You can get back.
All right. Thank you. I don't see any other questions from the commissioners. We're good with this. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Same to you.
Thank you. All right. And then item number 9, moving on to bulky item pickup and drop-off update from Bureau of Sanitation, and that's going to be from Mr. Daniel McKay. Now it's your turn. Welcome.
Morning, Board Commissioners. It's a quick report. This is a quarterly, actually it's a fiscal report, but we're 3/4 of the way through the fiscal year. So these are the numbers based on July 1st through the end of March. The bulky drop-off program has been in place about maybe 6 or 7 years now. So it gives the residents the opportunity to come in and drop them off if they choose not to call for curbside collection. So every district offers it except South LA and North Central, which they dump at Clark's. They have the option to take theirs to Clark's transfer station. So East Valley has, for this point in the year, 116 tons, West Valley 63, Harbor 31, West LA 34, and Clark 659. Naturally, South LA and North Central are going to have the highest tonnage. So total tonnage of about 900 tons at this point at the end of March. 3,300 items and about 1,600 customers have participated. On the curbside collection of bulky, which every district offers, East Valley has 6,750 tons so far this period. West Valley is 6,000 for a total of 12,800 in the Valley. Harbor has 2,183, North Central 4,861, South LA 6,289, and West LA 2,770. So the South Collection Division has 16,100 tons collected to this point in bulky items for the fiscal year. And then last, the e-waste and white goods, which are very important. They separate. The Valley has a total of 189 tons, and the South has 413. I'm sorry, that's e-waste. 189 tons of e-waste, 413 tons in the South of e-waste. White goods, which is appliances, 575 tons in the Valley, 1,189 tons in the South Collection Division, for a total of 1,754. That's the end of the report. Any questions?
Any questions, commissioners?
Okay, I want to remind Commissioner, especially because of Corson, because I see him in all open houses. Open house season's coming. Earth Day is coming April 20th, and then open house starts on May 4th
Okay.
at the East Valley location. You guys want the open house schedule? I'll give it to you. I know I'll see the commissioner out there. And I'll see you out this year, Sana. I'll see you this year too, right? All right, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good weekend, Mr. McKay. All right, then that clears 7, 8, and 9, and then we will go back now to our beginning of our agenda, and we'll start with item number 1, and this is in Council Districts 1, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14, and it's a revised task solicitation order, TOS number 11, Michael Baker International, Inc., recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of the task number 11 to Michael Baker International, Inc., increasing the budget authority from $3,916,581 to $4,116,581 for design services for the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities Program Round 5 projects. And before us, we have, are you Mr. Chen?
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jan Chen, and I'm with the Bureau of Engineering Street Improvement Division. I'm here today representing the Affordable Housing Sustainable Communities Program, or ASIC as we call it. It is a competitive state funding program with the primary objective to reduce greenhouse gas emissions through increased accessibility of affordable housing in conjunction with sustainable transportation infrastructure. In the 5th award cycle of the program, the city was awarded 7 projects with a total construction grant value of over $32 million. The grant construction deadline for these projects is on July 30th, 2026. In 2022, the city entered into a contract with the consultant firm Michael Baker International to complete the design for a cost of $3,560,581 with a contract contingency of $356,063. During the design, the city negotiated with Michael Baker to complete the traffic control plans for 4 of the larger projects, 4 of the 7 larger projects, in an effort to meet the aggressive timeline and prevent delays. Currently, due to the large amount of work occurring in the city and staffing shortages in city departments, approval of traffic control plans can take up to 6 months. So that is a pretty big risk if we were to do so during construction. The negotiated cost of the traffic control plans or to perform the design is $251,011. If we were to incorporate this cost, it would expend most of the design contract contingency. Therefore, to offset the cost and allow for sufficient contingency to complete the design, BOE is also requesting a budget increase of $200,000. That's my report.
That concludes your report, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item?
I just have one.
Go ahead. Thank you, Commissioner Reyes.
So on these pre-qualified on-call consultant list, right? That is expiring October 22, 2024. What impact will that have based on this amendment that we're going to have for this current consultant design for this project? What will happen, because it's stated on our agreement that if the contract for the consultant services is not extended and it expires prior to the completion, the 3-year completion, the scope of work outlined in the TOS will be reduced. Where are we with the timeline and how are we addressing that?
So with respect to the pre-qualified on-call list, there is a separate effort to renew that list. I believe currently that's anticipated to be completed before October, so I'm hoping for no impact to our contract.
So you're expecting what we are going to approve today to be completed before the contract expiration of
I
the PQ on-call?
No, I expect the list to be renewed so that there is no impact to our contract.
Can you speak into the mic?
Oh, am I too far?
You
Sorry.
expect the list to be renewed?
Correct.
And where is that in that process right now?
You know, I'm actually not the person leading that effort, but I believe it's underway. They're preparing the documentation.
And usually, how long does that take, based on your experience?
I don't have that information present, but I'd follow up. I'll check with the team leading that effort, and I'll get back to the board.
We just want to be sure, because this is a grant, right? And it's for affordable housing, that we meet all of those requirements in terms of the timeline, especially because this grant is funded. It's a reimbursement one. And given the situation that we have with the budget in the city, it behooves us to make sure that all of those requirements align. So I just want to make sure that that is understood.
Absolutely. And I think part of this is an effort to make sure we meet those deadlines and requirements.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. And can you get back to Commissioner Reyes just on the timing?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right. Do we have any other questions, commissioners? I don't see any. Do we have a second to my motion to approve this item? All right. Devin, we have a motion by myself and a second by Pro Tem Davis. If you could please take roll call.
Great, we'll take the vote, beginning with you, VP Villegas.
Yes. Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great, all ayes, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on then to item number 3. This is with the Bureau of Engineering, and this is a change order number 3, 30, 50, and 39 for Madrid Theater renovations project, and recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue the change orders for the Madrid Theater renovations project not to exceed the amounts shown below. So those are change order number 3. It's to deduct $245,225. Change order number 30, that's to add $257,325. Change order number 50, that's to add $219,386. And change order number 39, it is to add $263,225. And before us, we have Mr. Abadallah. Good morning.
And good morning. Good morning. Ohaji Abdullah here with the Bureau of Engineering Architectural Division. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Thank you. A quick background. In September of 2022, this board awarded the construction contract from to Wiseman Construction in the amount of approximately $10.7 million with a contingency of roughly $2.17 million for a total project budget, construction budget, ceiling of approximately $12.9 million. The project includes the rehabilitation of the front facade, lobbies, marquees, restrooms, theater area, and back of house spaces, which when complete will bring back a key cultural community asset to this community. The phase 1 construction is estimated to be completed this calendar year. The Department of Cultural Affairs and Councilmember Blumenfield have been ardent supporters of the project since its inception. Change orders 3, 30, and 50 are related to the de-scoping of AV and IT equipment and installation of the infrastructure needed for those future installations in phase 2. Change order 39 is related to the relocation of the elevator machine room. Just a bit more information on those. On change order number 3, the design, the AV and IT design that was originally bid on was deemed to be obsolete at the time we started construction and no longer meted IT's and DCA standards, just due to the fact that the technology changes so quickly. So it was decided to de-scope that entire element from the project and to do a quick redesign and understand how much conduit and infrastructure we needed for the future installation of those elements. The following change orders, number 50 and number 30, are related to the installation of that infrastructure, which will make sure that we don't have to do any rework in the next phase of construction. Change order 39 is related to the relocation of the elevator machine room. Although it was designed and permitted and shown to have the proper clearances, as typical with a lot of existing buildings. Once we got in and the contractor did their shop drawings, it was determined that we couldn't meet the equipment clearances and needed to relocate that elevator machine room from the second floor to a more suitable space on the first floor. Um, the and that's it for the information on the change orders. I am here to answer any additional questions.
I appreciate it, and thank you for that thorough explanation. Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item? Go ahead, Commissioner Corson.
I don't have any questions, but because it's the Madrid Theater and it's in my neck of the woods, I just wanted to highlight the fact that the contractor on this project is a former sub, and this is his first time being a prime. And it should be acknowledged that the Valley did it. So thank you. Looking forward to this being open.
Absolutely. I am also very happy that we have a new contractor into our realm with competitive pricing. Thank you.
Great, and thank you so much, Commissioner Corson, for those comments. Thank you. Then, do we have a motion to approve this item? All right, Ms. Satorsky, we have a motion by Commissioner Corson and a second by Pro Tem Davis.
Great, we'll take the roll call for item number 2, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great, all ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you all. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
weekend.
much. All right, great work. All right, let's move on then to item number 3, and this is a revised sole source task order solicitation number 98009, Western District Refuse Yard Project, and recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of the sole source task for TOS number 98-009 to Converse Consulting, increasing the budget authority from $395,000 to $720,000, including contingency for continued groundwater monitoring, enhanced groundwater remediation, and related services for Western District Refuse Yard Project. And before us, we have Mr. Mike Mulhorn. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam President and Commissioners. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering's Geotechnical Section. You've seen me at this project. By the way, can you hear me through the mask? I can take it off if it's bothering you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
This site is under the behest of the Regional Water Quality Control Board to remediate groundwater from various underground tanks that have leaked in the past. And we have a history of complying with their semi-annual groundwater monitoring, manual skimming when the free product, mostly diesel, is available, and then properly disposing of the waste material and providing reports to the regional board. A little over a year ago, they asked for more aggressive remediation, so we did a study, and that was approved. So we've had a very busy year this year. We've installed 7 new extraction wells down to 70 feet, which is pretty deep. We're adding a lot of piping and trenching, about 150 feet of that, and a new storage area for all the waste material to get segregated and then hauled off site. We've had a few construction difficulties due to the very thick concrete layer there because of all the refuse trucks that come in. And also there's a lot of existing underground tanks and other utilities, but we're still under budget. Basically, the new system will have an automated, pneumatically controlled extraction system. So whenever there's free product accumulating in any significant thickness, it'll be taken into the waste storage area. They also required a pilot test, and we're setting that up. What that involves is 5 new wells to inject a chemical into the soil and groundwater, and that chemical will help desorb or remove the contaminants from the soil and speed up the process. And then all that material will be pumped into a multi-phase remediation unit. The vapor phase will get sent through activated charcoal filters, which are periodically changed and properly disposed of so that we're not venting any VOCs in the atmosphere. The groundwater is stored and sent to a recycling facility where a large part of the hydrocarbons can be recycled into asphalt material. So we're hoping that this will give us information for any kind of a full-scale remediation size. This may do it, or the regional board may say, we like this unit, but we want it to be a little larger. So we'll see what happens next year. And I just want to note that Converse has done very well in their BIP program as well. Are there any questions on this site?
I appreciate it. Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item? Thank you for your report, Mr. Mulhern. I realize that this is something that we have to do and then provide our information to the regional board. And do you don't know if the method that we're using this time will be sufficient for the regional board?
I'm pretty sure it will help a lot. Whether or not it'll grant us case closure within the next year.
But we're, the information that we're gathering, we are adhering to what our permit says or what our requirements are.
Yes, definitely. They've approved our remedial action plan, or RAP as it's called, and we're, of course, adhering to that. So.
All right, and just looking at the budget, it seems like, you know, it's gone up probably just a little over 200,000, or a little over that, and actually more than that.
About 325,000.
Yeah.
Because it is deep, and it's a large site, it's a busy site, and there are a lot of complications.
Okay, and then if what we're providing to the regional board in the event that it's not to their, I guess if we're not making the requirements or we're not adhering to what is on their permit or specifications, you'll have to come back to the board for revision or methodology change?
Yes,
All right.
But we don't anticipate that to be at least until next year.
Okay. All right, and commissioners, do we have any questions? No? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Just one question again on the funding. Is this fully budgeted? Is there an amount that just still needs to be encumbered based on your request for the budget increase? Where is the exact funding coming from?
It comes from the CIPE funds through the CAO's office, and they give us an annual allotment. So I can only budget for 1 year at a time.
So with the other projects, because I'm reading, I think the next item is basically the same.
Yeah.
It's the same source, but it's a totally
Yeah, but the same
project.
funding
Yes.
situation that is actually dictated by the CAO, and the CAO is going to require that the remediation budget be requested on a year-by-year basis.
That's
is that correct?
Yes.
And so therefore, my question is, because it's a year-by-year basis, and given the budget situation that we have currently, do we have enough money to be appropriated or encumbered for these projects?
I believe so, at least through this year. It's really up to the CAO next year. But fortunately, these amounts are relatively small compared to the fines that the state could levy, which is up to $10,000 per day per tank. So the CAO, in the 35 years I've been doing this, has always found the money.
Okay, for me, I just need assurance that because these projects should be continued,
yes,
that we are meeting those requirements or the timeline set by the CAO, and that enough funding is set aside to be encumbered for the continuation of these projects.
I understand, and I worry about
so
it too.
That's one thing that I just would like to instruct your team, basically because the funding protocols are set by the CAO.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you so much. Just for context for this item. Any other questions, commissioners? No. All right. I'll move this item if we could have a second. Thank you. If, Ms. Tursky, if you could take roll call, we have a motion by myself and a second by Commissioner Reyes.
Great. We'll start the vote, beginning with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
All right, thank you. All right, well, you can just stay there
Thank you.
for the next item. Thank you. All right, item number 4, and this one is in Council District 11, and this is a revised task order solicitation number 00-121 Venice Street Maintenance Yard Project, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision for the task number 00-121 to AECom Technical Services, increasing the budget authority from $274,000 to $474,000, including contingency for the soil remediation, groundwater monitoring, and related services for the Venice Street Maintenance Yard Project. And I'll give you the floor, Mr. Mulhern.
Thank you. We are asking for a $200,000 increase. We are continuing, as the previous site, to monitor and report on the groundwater. We're also involved in a kind of a low-tech but effective and low-cost and inobtrusive soil remediation. It's called bioremediation, where we basically have some inexpensive piping and pumps pumping air into the ground, and that allows the bugs in there to help eat the hydrocarbons above the groundwater. The regional board wanted a little more advanced action plan. So last year we submitted and was approved the revised remedial action plan. And basically what we're doing is we did a lot of studies and we provided a report. In that report, we decided that there's been very good progress and the site should have a low threat case closure. In other words, a residual amount of contamination there. I think there's about a 50% chance that the board will accept that. So we're sort of at a turning point at this project. We have budgeted, just in case they don't accept that, or if they want a little more detail, for up to three additional injection wells to put in the budget, just in case the regional board decides not to give us case closure. Other than that, I have no further comments on this site.
Okay. You're completed with your report, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and commissioners, do we have any other questions on this item? I don't see any. This seems like from what you mentioned and from what we see in our packet, it seems that this is something that is a request from the regional board to do additional groundwater testing.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Then I'll move this item if we could get a second. All right. And
Great. We'll call the roll call for
Go ahead,
item
Ms.
number
Tursky.
4, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good weekend. I appreciate it. All right, just have a little bit of a movement. Thank you, Mr. Hoppenstead. I know we'll have a replacement for City Attorney's Office, but thank you. Let's move on then to Bureau of Street Services. And this is in Council District 9. And this is a claim for refund number 167696, Herbalife 24, Triathlon, Los Angeles, recommending that the board authorize the Bureau of Street Services and the Office of Accounting, subject to the approval of the City Council, to process the claim for refund over $5,000, number 167696, to refund Herbalife Triathlon Los Angeles in the amount of $116, $449.37, and forward this report to the City Council with the recommendation that the claim for refund over $5,000, number 167696, be approved, and that the Herbalife 24 Triathlon Los Angeles be refunded in the amount of $116,449.37. And before us, we have Mr. Yanis. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? My name is Temo Llanes. I'm the manager of special events under street services. And I'm here, as Ms. Vice President mentioned, Herbalife had a triathlon that encompassed a little bit more than just CD9. It encompassed CDs 1, 4, 10, 9, and 14. So it's a triathlon that went pretty much from Venice to downtown LA. At the time, we requested the initial cost estimate from all city departments to cover costs for this event, which all departments did provide a total amount estimate of $474,512.01. After the event, we requested, as we do with all special events, to give us a more accurate final cost from all city departments. The tally totaled to the actual cost to $358,062.64, leaving a overpayment of $116,449.37. So these payments have been made. Basically, Herbalife overpaid, and we're asking for approval for the refund for this amount.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that we're able to provide them this refund after just a little bit of time, and that it's before our board today. Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item? I don't see any. Do we have a motion to move this item? All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Pro Tem Davis. If you could please take roll call, Ms. Satursky.
Great. We'll take the roll call starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand. And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, and this is next item, number 6, and this is a joint report with Bureau of Engineering and BCA, and this will be in Council Districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And this is a contract award to International Line Builders doing business as ILB Electric, recommending that the board, number 1, declare International Line Builders, Inc., doing business as ILB Electric sole bidder to the lowest responsible bidder and award ILB a contract for the traffic signal backlog reduction Phase 1 and Vision Zero signal improvement second rebid project for $20,042,085. And number 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract after approval as to the form has been obtained from the city attorney. And for item number 6, I have that we have Mr. Chris Ryder from DOT. And
John Verghese.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Good morning, board. This project consists of traffic signal improvements across the city of Los Angeles. There are 52 intersections, and it focuses mainly on traffic signal safety improvements. These improvements include installation of new signals, left turn signals, that is protected and protected permissive left turns, interconnect, high visibility continental crosswalks. This project is the first phase of many where the project proposes to reduce the backlog of traffic safety related projects. The contract duration is 420 days. The staff believes the project is $20,042,000. Although it is 60% high, staff believes that this type of work that the type of work is the reason for the low bids, for the low bidder participation. And after evaluating the bid, staff believes that the sole bid is reasonable, and the unit prices submitted by the sole bidder are balanced. Staff also believes that re-advertising the project will not likely attract additional or lower bidders. The funding for the project is mainly from 4 sources. That's the Traffic Signal Safety Project Fund, the SB1 Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation Program Fund, Measure R, and Measure M. Yeah, SB1. And so as far as the contractor has is a certified LBE, and they have already met the city's subcontracting minimum requirements. What is required was 25%, and their participation level is 33.18%. Yeah, I'm open to questions now.
Okay. I appreciate that. I realize there's a lot of funding sources here that are, that are mentioned. Thank you for pointing those out. And if you could give us just a little bit more background on ILB Electric, they were the sole bidder. Will they, I understand you said that they were going to be doing about 52 intersections. Do they have other subcontractors also doing work, with them, and how that will be done in terms of other enterprises?
Okay, so the contractor has pledged 33% of the work to be going to subcontractors, and those include tree services, signal equipment supply. There are around 7 subcontractors, which constitute about 33% of the contract amount.
Okay, and thank you. And did you said, maybe I misunderstood, you didn't say anything regarding trees, is that correct?
I did say that there's a tree service contract.
Oh, that's what I thought you said.
Yes.
But in my brain, I'm just thinking, are they going to, is that contract needed to be able to trim trees for lights? And is that work going to be coordinated with our street services?
Yes, so they'll have to get a permit for that, and it's mainly trimming trees so that the signals are visible.
Yeah. Okay. And the work will be concluded in 450 days?
420 days.
Is that accurate? And like a
420 working days.
Oh, 420 working days. Okay. All right. And is this the first time ILB Electric it does work with us?
No, they are currently working on a project for LADOT, one of the Vision Zero projects. So they
Okay.
have done work previously.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Sometimes when we take, different types of funding, there's different requirements, and I wouldn't want a contractor not to follow what all of those requirements are. So then at the end of the contract, we have to withhold any kind of funding because they haven't adhered to everything in the requirements of specified grants. Okay. Thank you. I don't want any, I'm hoping that there's been that kind of communication with the contractors or with the main contractor.
Yes, the current project, we don't have any issues.
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions on this item?
Yeah, I have a
Go right
question.
ahead.
The total cost of the implementation of the lights, this is upgrading the lights in various intersections throughout the city and various districts, is that correct? And so it's $20 million sum for estimated cost of this work, is that correct?
Yes, that's the bid being on.
In terms of the vendor who does the work, who is the vendor? Is it one single vendor, or is it multiple individuals that helps us implement completing this work?
So the signal equipment is mainly supplied by McCain, which is one of the subcontractors. And then they have a paving company called Excel Excel Paving Company. Then for trimming trees, they have the V&E tree service, and then they have Smithson Electric to do their electric work.
So we have about 3 or 4 different ones doing the work in various areas?
Yes, they work in different fields of.
And then in terms of the funding, you mentioned that there were 4 sources. You gave us 3 areas that you said SB1 money, Measure M, and what were the other 2?
So it was the Traffic Signal Safety Project Fund,
Okay.
the SB1 fund,
Uh-huh.
the Measure R, Vision Zero traffic signals, and the Measure M Vision Zero traffic signals fund.
And so all of these are local funds from state and local government. There's no federal dollars in this work from the Department of Transportation in Washington, is there?
Yes, there's state and local funds.
Just state and local. And in terms of the diversity or the business inclusion in those vendors that we have chosen, do we have any reflection of various businesses, small businesses, and or other groups that would come from marginalized areas who do the work, if in fact there are any?
Yes, so they have complied with the BI outreach requirements of the bid.
Oh, good.
And so they have 0 MBE, WBE, SB, 2 SBE.
We have zero MBE, WBE.
0 MBE, 0 WBE, 2% SBE, 0 LGB, TBE, 0.25 EBE, 0 DVBE, and 28% of OBE, that is other business enterprises.
Mm-hmm. So this is an area of work in which we don't have many minorities from the area who do this work, basically, in terms of where we have low numbers. Is that, because this is kind of like electrical engineering kind of stuff, right?
Right. So they, according to the contract administration, they have complied with the BI outreach requirements of the bid.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for those questions, Pro Tem Davis. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any other questions. Do we have a motion to move this item? And all right, Ms. Zatorsky, we have a motion by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Pro Tem Davis. If we could take roll.
Great. We'll tabulate the vote, beginning with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Okay. Have a good weekend. Thank you. All right, Ms. Zatorsky, does that clear the desk?
That clears the desk of all our agendized items today.
All right. Thank you.
Management meeting?
We will not have a management meeting today.
Great.
Thank you. All right. This concludes our meeting at 11:05. Thank you.